Hey there, it's Lacy J here to ask you to go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, buy yourself some merch, and most importantly, send us a message, the latter of which we'll reply to on our newly revamped weekly pre-shows, where we have as many fun segments as we do on the audio pod. There are current events with Christy, corrections and observations with Ben, and as always, questions with Derek. Plus, I have new fun facts and tell a terrible fucking joke every single week. Please join us, and please consider rating and reviewing us on your favorite app or recommending us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s, Season 3, Episode 9. It's called Stranger in a Strange Land. It's a Jack episode. It's a me episode. It's terrible, but we're going to do it anyway. How's everybody? How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Doing great. Ready to really lay into this episode.
Lots of
this episode.
Fucking enthusiasm coming from you guys. What?
I said it's a TURD turd.
Oh, okay. Great. So before I ask you to update us on the power rankings, Ben, I want to let everybody know I noticed that I fucked up in our spreadsheet when I changed the name from Danny to Dad Pants Danny in the spreadsheet. I accidentally fucked up his score, so it's been off by 3 points for several weeks now. And although he is now,
oh my god,
although he's now officially Dead Pants Danny. And he's gone. We told you last week that his points were at negative 87. They're not. They're negative 90. They've been off, like I said, for a while now. It doesn't really change anything. But I thought I would note that because when Ben gives the scores now, he's going to give the one that is correct. And it won't sound like it matched last week.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Great.
What a massive credibility blow this was.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? Can you update us on the scores, please, before we have to do this fucking episode?
I can, yes. Where we left off last week was with Sawyer holding onto first place with 58 points. Juliet creeping up from behind with 52 points. Desmond had a strong showing. Obviously, it was one of his episodes, and it was a bit of a mind fuck. So he's at 43 points. We have Dead Pants Danny at 90 points, not 87. You guys.
Negative 90 points.
Negative 90, not negative 87. I know you guys are going to have to rearrange your schedules now.
Shocking
Second place,
news.
we have I guess Poopy Paolo at negative 47 points and Mr. P. So we've got Pants, Poopy P. It's an all P. But it's just a lot of pee going on down there.
Yeah, a lot of pee.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So moving on from our golden showers bottoms. Wow.
Whoa.
Here we go. Stranger in a Strange
golden shower
Land.
bottoms straight to a piece of shit episode.
Absolutely.
All right. Am I ready to do this episode? No, but here it goes anyways. All right. It's still day 73 for the survivors. We pick back up where episode 7 left off with Kate, Sawyer, and Carl escaping Hydra Island. So they're in the outrigger, and Sawyer is singing, "Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed," or something like that. I don't think that was exactly right.
At least he's not singing the Buffalo Soldier. That was so bad. That was terrible.
Yeah. That's true. That was pretty bad. This is a little bit better. It sounds like a pirate drinking song or something.
I believe those are called shanties.
A shanty is a pirate drinking song?
I think
I thought shanty was like a tent on the beach.
It is. But
Okay.
a shanty is also a song that's all 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
So Kate wants him to turn the boat around and go back for Jack, of course. Sawyer says, no way, because Jack asked them not to. And besides, what does she think Captain Bunny Killer will do? Which I fucking love.
Not entirely fair. He's
He didn't kill the bunny.
a bunny harasser.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bunny harasser. More from the Ben bunny relationship later in the show.
It was more of a Jesse Smollett bunny thing, where it was sort of, you know.
Oh my gosh.
He sort of staged it.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor guy. What the hell was he thinking? Anyways, while Sawyer is pondering what Captain Bunny Killer will do, Carl pipes up and says, "Kill you." Carl is lying at the end of the boat, looking out and saying, like, he's basically delirious at this point. And so he's repeating, God loves you as he loves Jacob. And Sawyer replies, "Okay, thanks for the input." Before telling Kate that Jack is on his own. A few messages of Jacob, or mentions of Jacob so far, Derek.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You wonder who Jacob is?
I do.
All right, well, you'll find out. All in good time. So Jack is sitting on the floor of his cell. A door opens, and Tom says that they're moving him from the room. Jack is like, if you're going to kill me, at least show me the respect of not calling it moving. So Tom wonders what kind of people Jack thinks they are. And Jack responds with, "Oh, I don't know, Tom. The kind of people that would take a pregnant woman, that would hang Charlie from a tree, would drag our people out of the jungle, would kidnap children. That's the kind of people I think you are."
So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a point.
That's a pretty big list of bad things, Tom. So Tom isn't fazed by any of this, taps on the glass house that Jack is living in and asks if he should get him some stones. Oh, okay. So they cuff Jack, take him into the hallway where they pass an also cuffed Juliet, who says, "Hey." Jack then notices another blonde other, and this woman is creepy as fuck.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has a fucked up hairdo, too.
Her hairdo is absolutely psychotic. No person that hasn't broken with reality wears a hair like that.
Is it weird that
obvious...
I actually find this woman strangely attractive?
It doesn't surprise me. It's probably her voice.
It's her voice, yeah.
Yeah.
There's an
That doesn't
intensity
surprise me
there
at
too
all.
that it's like she scares me, but she also kind of intrigues me.
Oh, that sounds kind of like our relationship.
I almost feel like she and Ben Linus were like hatched from the same lizard egg.
Yeah, that seems right.
Oh, on the island they were hatched
On the island.
from the same lizard egg. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, that's why they
fine.
have all fertility. I mean, she impregnated a male field mouse, so why not, huh? They're just hatching others now.
All right. So, anyways, this creepy bitch with her psychopathic hairdo kind of eyes Jack, and he's eyeing her back. And as they take him further down the hall, Juliet is locked into Jack's cell, also without a blanket. I noticed. So
Poor
we get
thing.
the
They
lost...
didn't give her a blanket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Has to sleep on that hard table.
She's probably not going to get any toasted sandwiches with toothpicks in them.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
She's like,
Yeah.
I don't have a blanket in here, but I need toothpicks and a toaster because I know you guys aren't not going to bring me toasted sandwiches.
toothpicks in a toaster.
Yeah.
All right. So that's when we get the lost title screen. And then we come back into flashback number 1.
Is this episode over yet?
Oh my God. All right. You notice I gave it to myself. I didn't make any of you have to suffer
Oh, yeah,
through
you definitely took one for the team.
Yeah, you
I
did.
appreciate that.
explaining this fucking episode. All right. Flashback number 1. We see a panning shot across a beach, several small islands in the distance. Jack comes out of a little beach hut, puts on his glasses, pack over his shoulder. He's looking very refreshed. This is Happy Jack. A young boy carrying a bucket runs up and asks, "Dr. Jack," which just makes me think of... What am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
No clue.
I'm thinking of Harrison Ford and
Short
Indiana
Round.
Jones. Yeah, Dr. Jones. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Sorry. So he runs up to ask Dr. Jack if he wants a soda. Jack buys 2, and the boy speaks to him in Thai, and Jack says he can't understand anything, but that the kid is welcome. So he's now trying to assemble a kite on a beach like a loser, and it's not going very well because apparently this fucking surgeon can't figure out how to put together a kite.
A kite.
I don't get it.
Yeah, seriously.
What? All right. So a Thai woman is like laughing at him. So her outfit is actually adorable and her hair is adorable. And that is the extent of what I think about this character. That's it. So anyway, she comes over to help him. They work together. They get the kite put together. And she says something stupid like, I notice you're not from around here. And he smiles,
Really?
says,
Really? Really?
What gave that away?
Have you ever heard of Black Irish? It's sort of like that, right? I don't have an Asian cock, but I am Caucasian.
No.
oh my God. Okay. Anywho, she introduces herself as Achara, and I don't care about her at all. So we're back on Hydra Island.
Actually, I looked it up because I was curious.
Oh, does Achara mean something?
Yeah, it means angel who is very pretty or beautiful.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
And I think that they pronounced it Achara?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Bless you.
I'm 100% certain I'm butchering whatever Thai pronunciation should be done.
Achara.
Yeah.
Well, I also have to
I'm-
ask, do they speak, does Thailand have their own languages? Because like later on in the episode, Psycho Lady, when she's looking at his tattoo, says that it's written in Mandarin. So I'm not sure. Do they have a different written language or written spoken language or a different spoken language? I don't know, actually.
Guess
Well,
what?
I looked up Achara and it says in Thai, the name Achara means, so I assume Thai is a language.
Yeah, they definitely,
it is.
Thai is definitely a language, but you're right that he gets the tattoo in Chinese for some reason. It's one of the many things that don't make sense about this episode.
Yeah.
But I will say, next week, Ben, you're going to explain to us on the pre-show some more about the differences between Thai and Chinese. I just decided.
that's
So
good.
stay tuned for that next week. All right. So, anywho's, I apologize for butchering Thai. I only know that that's what she said, or that's the spelling of her name, because I got it from the web. And so I didn't even spell it that way on my own. All right, back on Hydra Island, Jack is pacing in one of the bear cages, and Tom comes up to give him a sandwich through the bars. Jack comments how Juliet used to grill them and
With
asks,
toothpicks in it.
yeah. And then he asks about the blonde, creepy woman with the psychopathic haircut. And Tom says she's the sheriff. And Jack is like, okay. You got the sheriff? So he wonders why Juliet was put in his room. And Tom says that she's in trouble. So Jack mentions that he knows that he's being watched on camera. And Tom brings up Jack, like, risking everything for Kate and Sawyer. Wondering like why he would do that, knowing that they just left him here. And Jack kind of ignores what he's saying, interrupts him, and says, "Thanks for the sandwich."
Well, and that's exactly what Jack told Kate and Sawyer to do.
Which Tom
So-
knows. He was fucking there. Why is he trying to like barb at him that way? I'm not sure.
Because they like fucking with people mentally.
Yep.
I guess so.
It feels like they're, I mean, to me at this point, it feels like they're starting to groom him like, you're going to be our next doctor, you're our other. So he's starting to try to put distance between him and his former friends who are not going to be others.
Oh, I see.
That's how I read
it. I see. So the others are trying to poach Jack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is what you
They
mean.
need a surgeon. They know that much already because their other one is dead.
Yeah, but they already said he wasn't on the list. So I wonder how they could have him if that was the case.
Well, maybe he wasn't on the list because they had a surgeon when they made the list. After the list was made, the surgeon got killed. So
I guess we'll have to ask the list makers, whoever that may be. All right. So anyways, Jack, sandwich. I said all that. Fuck it. Back to the canoe. Sawyer is saying that he never thought he'd be glad to get back to this island again. Kate Kate wants to keep sailing around the shore so they can find the camp faster, but Sawyer says they have no food or water and they can't steer in the dark, so they're going to shore where she can be helpful and build a campfire. This romantic bit.
You can steer in the dark, you just can't see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
So you don't know where you're going, but you're still sailing.
True.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's not like there are lights on the shore to guide you around. It would just be pitch black and terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, so their relationship, all this oogly googly sweet stuff that was going on, fell apart pretty fucking quick.
It's gone.
Right?
Yeah.
One canoe ride and
It's
we're
over.
back to
because the ocean is his mistress.
Ooh.
All right. I almost had coffee come out of my nose. On the island, Kate, Sawyer, and Carl are sitting by a fire. And Sawyer offers up some mango. Kate snaps, "No, James, I ain't hungry." Okay. And Carl says, they shouldn't fight because they're lucky to be alive. Kate asks if that island is where the others live, and Carl says, no, it's just where they work. And Sawyer says, well, sure, like the steal the kid off the raft project. That was a humdinger. Oh, fuck. And so Kate asks if they live on this island, and Carl confirms that they do. And then she wants to know why they take kids. And Carl says, we give them a better life. Kate wonders, better than what? And he says, better than yours. Yo.
I guess he kind of has a point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're comparing lives on the island, sure. I'd rather be in one that has a house and a toilet.
Depends. Would I have to
better.
wear khakis the whole time?
Yeah.
Is that what the others do? Do they all wear khakis?
Seems to be a disproportionate amount of khaki going on there. Ben is big on rocking the pants. I mean, you never see this guy wear just a pair of jeans.
Well, I mean, I feel like jeans would be pretty heavy to wear in a tropical climate, and
Yeah,
that khakis
definitely.
make sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
So that I guess that maybe they do wear khakis.
Just wearing linen pants everywhere they go,
Or no pants.
or no pants. No pants, Danny. That's what we all want to see.
No pants,
No pants, Danny would have been my friend. All right. So Carl then notices that there won't be any moon tonight and tells them how he and Alex used to lay in the backyard and look at constellations. Very sweet. And Sawyer says, you have backyards? Well, ain't that quaint? All right. So we cut to Jack in his cage, and he's pushing the food button. Juliet approaches, escorted by 2 guards. She tells Jack that they let her out to examine Ben. His vitals are low, and he has a fever. She hands him a photo of his sutures and asks if they look infected. Kind of duh, since they're red and oozing.
Yeah. It's oozing. She is still a doctor, right? She's not a surgeon, but she should know what a fucking infection looks like.
Wait, what an infection looks like? Yeah. I feel like
I know
it's
what
pretty
an
basic.
infection looks like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is silly, but that's
so
okay.
they really need Jack because she's
That's
not
this
good at this.
episode.
Yeah.
That's why they need to woo
Exactly.
Jack, because she's so incompetent. She can
She's so
impregnate
incompetent.
male field mice, but she doesn't get much else
exactly.
They know what
done.
an infection looks like.
Do no harm, right? unless you're talking about Danny.
All right. I'm completely lost now. Oh, okay. So Jack confirms, yes, that looks like an infection. Genius. And she asks him to please help Ben. And he tells her no. And then she says it would be a personal favor for her. Jack hilariously laughs at the idea and basically wonders if this is because Ben said that she could go home. She says no, it's because she's in trouble for killing someone. Jack wants to know who, and she says it's complicated. Jack responds, well then, let me simplify it for you. I'm not going to help him, and I'm not going to help you.
He's like, fuck you and Ben. Fuck you both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically.
It's not really
Um,
complicated. You just say, I killed Danny. What's so complicated about that?
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
There's
I'm not really sure.
I do appreciate the continuity of him having an infection, because with all the lack of
Right.
like masks
Yeah.
going on in the last couple episodes, that would be, a much more likely outcome than if
Yep.
they had just masked up.
Are we dealing with likely outcomes though when he like woke up and had a conversation during back surgery? Like, I appreciate like the accuracy of the infection, but it's probably not really what we're going for here, like medically
Well,
accurate.
yeah, I mean, I don't think like totally faithful realism is really the angle of this show, but
Right. Yeah, it's not House.
Oh God, ugh.
All right.
I liked that show.
Well, yeah, but it's also not realistic.
Yeah.
I like
That
the
was
first
my
episode of it, and then every episode after that was basically the first episode over and over and over.
I never watched it, but when I had my first MS attack, I was misdiagnosed with a stroke. And my dad said, no, they need to do a spinal tap. I'm pretty sure you have multiple sclerosis. And I was like, look, I'm going to trust the Johns Hopkins doctors over an electrician. So then
A flat earther electrician,
Exactly.
actually.
Wait, he's a flat earther?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, and my
my
dad's
God.
full on Q.
He went down the rabbit hole, the conspiracy
Oh my
rabbit
God.
hole.
He insists that he's not QAnon, but he is. So
Oh my God, your dad has those trading cards.
no, he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have any money for that shit.
Oh no.
He spends all his money on guns.
Oh, frightening. Anyways.
So anyway, I had my second attack. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I was told that I never had a stroke. And my dad was like, yes, 8 seasons of House.
Oh.
I said, you don't get to fucking celebrate that you were right, that I now have an incurable neurodegenerative disease.
House.
Yeah, I was right.
All right.
Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Go medium.
Okay. Go. Uh-oh, now we're quoting Family Guy. Okay. Flashback number 2. Jack and Achara, whose name I can't pronounce, are out to dinner. Server tells Jack it's a special dish for him. Jack takes a huge bite and the man says, very brave, very brave. Like,
I
don't
wonder
say
what it
that when I'm in
was.
the middle of biting my food. What the hell? So Achara tells him that her brother likes him, and Jack says, well, I'm a very likable guy.
I disagree.
Shave your neck, Jack. It really bothers me.
Was his neck hairy?
Oh, this whole episode is just like this massive neck beard going on. It's
Neck beard?
yeah,
Beard.
yeah.
Wow. I didn't notice. I'll have to look at that. I mean, he is living in a hut by himself. Who's he got to shave the back of his neck, Ben? You have me. See? That's why you can look down at other people.
The American dollar goes a long way in Thailand. I'm sure he can figure that one out.
You can find
Yeah,
somebody to shave his neck. All right. So anyways, she asked Jack why he doesn't know how to fly a kite. What kind of conversation is this? And he says he never learned. His dad always worked and wasn't exactly the kite flying type. She thinks that's sad, but says she has no interest in his father.
Damn.
See,
Like,
I
lady.
think the first question is, why can't you put together a kite? We have two things here. Like, he couldn't
Oh,
fly
that's
it,
true.
but he couldn't put
He
it
hadn't even
together.
gotten to the
That's right.
flying part.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He couldn't figure out where to put the 2 sticks to make it have
Seriously.
wings.
Jesus,
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
I know.
All right. So she wonders if Jack is in Phuket to find himself.
Fuck it.
It does
What's
read
the name
as
of that
fuck
city?
it. It's
This
pretty
entire
great.
episode makes me want to say fuck it. Like,
All right. So he wants to know why she would say that. And she says it's because he's an American. Another man enters the restaurant, speaks in Thai, hands over an envelope full of money to Achara, and walks away very mysteriously. She tells Jack that she has a gift, and he says, must be one hell of a gift.
Oh, shit. The thing must sing the Star Spangled Banner. Yeah. Oh, that kind of gift. Yeah.
no, she's just got the ping pong ball record.
Oh God!
Oh, shooting it out. Yeah, I've seen.
I think.
Oh my
Have
God.
you seen that?
Not in real life, but like
Oh, okay. Oh my God! All right.
No, there were these softcore porn movies when I was in my teens in the 80s on Skinamax, and there was like Emmanuel and Bangkok and things like that, and they had a girl doing that, and they show it popping out.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my
Ping
God.
pong ball, yeah.
That is talented. I want to try that. No, I'll end up in the ER with like 6 ping pong balls in my uterus.
Stuck up in there.
The 6 ping pong balls in a racket.
Wow.
with my Flexo Light ping pong paddle.
Oh my God. Okay. So back on the island, the sheriff of Island Town approaches Jack's cage and speaks to him in Chinese. Jack looks confused and she says, "Oh, I was just reading your tattoos. The 5 and the stars are very cute, but the Chinese I find a bit ironic." She asks him if he knows what it says, and he says he does. And she asks him if he's sure and tells him that Chinese is a very complicated language. It's fairly common for some things to get lost in translation. Well, this annoys Jack, and he says he knows what it says. She then introduces herself as Isabel and asks Jack to come with her to answer a few questions. And they're now walking down a corridor where they pass Scrappy Alex, and Isabel tells her to check in on her father. They enter a room where Tom and Juliet are waiting. Isabel tells Jack that they don't live on the island, and most don't even like going there, but she has to do this investigation. She confirms with Tom that Jack claimed Juliet wanted Ben dead and asks Jack if that's true. Jack smiles and says he was lying and that turning them against each other was a tactic to help his friends. In fact, I think he says that it was the best way to create chaos, which I love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then Isabel asks Jack why he's lying for Juliet, and he says, "I'd like to go back to my cage now." I'm kind of loving Jack in this episode. I like when Jack is bold Jack. I like a lot. Yeah.
I'm loving Jack on the deserted island in this episode, but not in.
Oh, not in Thailand. No,
Yeah,
in
Thailand,
Thailand,
Jack is terrible.
he's acting
He's
like a
fucking asshole.
fucking
Yeah.
twat in Thailand. Yeah.
Twat in Thailand.
All right.
That's probably the name of some porn movie or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
Twat in Thailand.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's going to be now. Ben, I have something else I want to put on Spacebear Media's agenda.
We're gonna film Twat in Thailand.
Yeah. We need to go to Thailand. All right.
Yeah, something tells me the market's probably a bit saturated already.
So I searched for that. I searched for twat in Thailand, and one of the first results was ping pong show.
Oh my God.
Yes, it literally had
yes,
ping pong shows.
yes. It has come
Oh,
full
that's
circle.
amazing.
There's a Wikipedia article on ping pong shows.
She has a very
that.
special
In fact,
gift.
It shows the name of one of the clubs is called Super Pussy in Bangkok.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
Oh my God. Okay. So
righty
flashback
then.
number 3. It's nighttime and Achara is sneaking into Jack's beach hut.
Achara. Just the syllable. The emphasis is on the first syllable. Achara.
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 There you go.
Achu.
Saying, what was I saying? Achara?
Achara.
Achara, yeah.
Oh,
Achara.
it's terrible.
Achara.
All right. Achara is sneaking into Jack's beach hut. She kisses him and she's salty and he notices, I guess. She says that she's just been for a swim. And Jack mentions that it would be nice to find something out about her after a month of her coming and going whenever she likes. And she tells him that things happen in Phuket that he could never understand. Dun, dun, dun.
Stupid. It's the dumbest.
It's so dumb. It's
Right,
so
like-
dumb.
It's so secret. Oh, I have a gift. Yeah.
It's just like really.
So corny.
Oh my God, Derek
hate this
is not
episode.
having it.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
so
I
stupid.
hate it.
okay. Oh my God. So, anyways,
I mean, now at this point, I actually wish it was the ping pong ball thing, and that would at least be fun.
Yes.
Can you imagine? He follows her into a place. He walks in, and the first thing that happens is a close up of him getting hit in the forehead with a ping pong ball.
Oh my God. All right. Woo. So after she tells him things happen that he can't understand, he says, like your gift. And then she just like distracts him with her pussy and asks him if he's
I
having
can see
fun.
that happening. Yeah.
He says yes. And she tells him to stop asking questions and have fun. And then they have this like breathy, gross sex scene. It's very, and oh God, it's gross.
A lot of huffing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
actress, she was in The Crow.
The original Crow?
Yeah. The original one. She was the sister, whatever. of The bad
Oh,
guy.
was she really?
Mhm.
Oh, nice. I mean, I've watched it. I don't think the movie holds up now, but back in the day,
I never thought it
fucking
held up. I
I
hated
loved
The
that
Crow. I
fucking
always
movie.
thought everyone. I had so many friends that thought it was it's their favorite movie of all time. I watched it. I was like, it's like a middling sort of revenge movie. It's just not even that good. It's like I think it got a lot of bonus points for people because Brandon Lee died.
Died
Yeah.
while she filming
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
that
it
is a
wasn't
lot. I think of what
but
happened.
It's not that good a movie. Like, yeah.
Well, and the whole fact that he's Bruce Lee's son, I think
Yeah.
that between being Bruce Lee's son and the fact that he died while filming it, everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's amazing!"
Yeah.
But it's not.
I honestly think like him playing the guitar on the roof was sort of like this episode's I Have a Gift. It was just like, okay, I'm done. Like, this is so fucking stupid.
Oh, all I
gift.
remember now is about like the piles of cocaine that might be her. Then the actress says somebody's like snorting their whole face into like a giant pile of cocaine. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, well,
I don't.
yeah.
Oh, that was
I
in
don't
Scarface, too.
Yeah, so something like Scarface.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Well,
that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
that's a
Scarface
sign
is
of
pretty
wealth.
dope.
I feel like
Yeah.
when you can plant your face directly into a large pile of
Huge
cocaine.
pile. I mean,
Yeah.
All right. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's way more wealthy than just being able to afford to do Instacart.
Right. I was like, we hire maids to clean our houses from every once in a while, but if we didn't do that, we might be able to get at least a small mountain of coke.
yeah.
Very like a mole. It would be more like a molehill. It wouldn't be a mountain. That's
Sorry,
all.
guys. It's referencing a conversation we were having before we hit record about how having money mostly just buys you convenience, like being able to have someone else do your grocery shopping or your house cleaning. But anyways.
Yeah. Or to be able to witness things like ping pong shows.
That's right.
Oh my God. All right. So Jack wakes up in his cage. He's startled by a crowd of about a dozen people standing there staring at him like fucking creepily.
Well, and they're all standing like kind of singularly around.
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
Like,
weird.
COVID, social distancing.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah, that's right. Which makes it even creepier for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, then he sees Cindy, who
What?
had been previously kidnapped. She comes up to him. He recognizes her as the Flight 815 flight attendant.
She recognizes
he
him because she's good with faces. Remember that.
That's right.
You remember she was
that
good
she-
with faces.
That's right. So then Jack says to her, like, he thought that she was taken. And Cindy replies, it's not that simple.
Here we go with this complicated shit again.
So Jack wants to know what they're all doing there. She tells him that they're there to watch. And Emma, the young girl from the tail end, approaches and whispers into Cindy's ear. Cindy then says to Jack that the little girl wants to know how Anna Lucia is doing. And Jack just...
I thought it was going to be.
She's digging trenches in the great beyond.
Yeah, right.
So Jack just says, are you serious? And then he like yells at her basically if they've got something to watch, then to go do it. and shoos everybody away. And then Zach, the little boy from the tail end, hands his teddy bear to his sister, and they stare at Jack, looking confused at his reaction. And then the group walks away. So on the beach elsewhere, Kate and Sawyer wake up at their campsite to find that Carl is missing. They search for a second and they find him crying in some bushes. Sawyer tells Kate that he'll handle the boys only situation.
Yes.
It's actually kind of a sweet interaction, but Carl sees Sawyer coming, wipes the tears from his face, and then Sawyer punches him in the arm and tells him to cowboy up, whatever the fuck that means.
Or man up, same thing.
All right. Well, Sawyer calls him Bobby from the Brady Bunch, and Carl has no idea what he's talking about.
Apparently, they don't get the Brady Bunch on the island.
Did anyone else get that when he said that? Because I was lost too. I was just like, Bobby, what the? I
didn't know that either.
Bobby Fischer, Bobby Kennedy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, until I read this, I didn't know it was Brady Bunch either.
Yeah,
but I never watched that really.
There are a lot of Bobbies.
Yeah, that's true.
Marcia, I would remember, but
yeah. I think Sawyer's nickname game is kind of slipping, to be honest.
No, it's not, because I think like Bobby was the weakling that always cried.
Oh, okay.
That was his character on the Brady Bunch, so it makes sense.
The weakling, you mean the sensitive boy?
Yeah.
Well,
crying is not weakness.
Yes, I get that, but what was portrayed on the show was that he was the weakling who cried all the time. That's how Sawyer means it. I'm not saying that's appropriate. I think men and boys
the one that
can
married
cry.
The first America's Next Top Model?
You mean the actor, or do you think that the Brady Bunch is real?
No, I guess that the Brady Bunch is not real. I understand
that. People do sleep in separate beds. Wow.
Oh my God. Okay. Where the hell were we? Right. Okay. Anyways, so Sawyer tells Carl that he's been with a lot of girls and most of them aren't worth the trouble. But every now and then you find the one that you name the stars with. So then he says that if he loves Sally's slingshot, he should go back and get her. I love it.
It's very sweet.
It is really sweet. Carl says that if he gets caught, then they'll kill him. And Sawyer replies, well, at least it'll be worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is pretty cute. The teenage love. All right. So Jack is back in his cage. Alex throws a rock.
She's good with those rocks.
She is, yeah. Scrappy Alex throws a rock to break the surveillance camera and approaches the cage. She tells Jack that she needs to ask him something, and now they're not watching, so he can actually tell her the truth. And
are they listening?
I mean, I guess
the camera,
they could
but is there maybe a microphone there that you missed?
Yeah, because remember, Ben was watching Sawyer and Kate talk, and he could hear everything they said.
I guess I would assume I guess she didn't break the whole camera, just like the lens.
The lens.
Exactly.
Well, you fucked up, Alex. Anyways, back to the scene. She wants to know why Jack decided to save Ben's life, because he could have so easily killed him. And Jack replies, "You're his daughter." And she says, "Answer the question." Jack says he'll do it if she tells him where Juliet is. And she says she's with the rest of them. They're about to read her verdict. But they kind of all already know what it is because they're very strict about killing one of their own.
Like vampires?
Like vampires? Well, she says eye for an eye. So I think more like biblically. But yeah, it could be like vampires.
I think it's more like vampires because vampires are some pretty cool people.
Oh my God. I have heard that vampires are some pretty cool people. All right. So Jack wants to know.
Werewolves.
That was cool as werewolves, man. Exactly.
Jack wants to know who Juliet killed. And Alex says, the man who was going to murder your friends. No wonder you're so worried about her. If it wasn't for you, she never would have done it. That was 3 questions. Your turn, Jack. She's like really intense in this scene too. I think the actress is
I adore
great.
her.
Yeah, she's pretty great. So, and they really cast her to look like and embody like the Danielle that we already
Yeah,
know.
the cast
they
is
did a great
really, really
job.
good.
Right? Like
I can
really,
look at her and imagine what her father looked like. Like the casting is like that spot on.
I just think it's just great because you just imagine that this is what Danielle was like at this age.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways. So finally, Jack decides to answer her question and he says, I saved your father because I said I would. Okay. He then wants to know if Ben is still in charge and if Isabel has to listen to him. Alex confirms those things, although
Condoms.
in this timeline, I wrote Alex condoms those things for some fucking
Good for
reason.
her. She should be condomating those things. She's got a whole life in front of her.
Yep.
And Jack says, get me out of this cage. Back in the Hydra OR, Ivan is about to inject something into Ben's infected back. It looks disgusting. Jack barges in, unmasked, and tells him not to do that.
Stop.
Ben just...
How does he ascertain what this fucker is doing? He
Exactly.
just opened the door. He has no idea what's in that syringe. So I wouldn't do that. It's sort of like, oh, you are a fucking prick.
Well, we've already discerned that Jack is the most competent surgeon to have ever walked the planet. So he probably is able to know what someone's going to do before they do it and tell them that it's wrong. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah. I would think maybe he'd open it up. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, this is just an antibiotic. Which antibiotic? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. You should do that. Instead of just coming in and saying no right
I
up
guess
to the
he's
like,
telling
come on,
him
Hunter.
not to do that just because he's like, just let me fucking take over. Don't do that. You know?
Well, that could be. I still
Yeah.
think he's just can read minds is probably what it is.
Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah. So Ben super casually says, the cavalry has arrived at last. Nothing phases this fucking guy. He's laying there with his back rotting and he's just still ready to be sarcastic.
Yep.
So Jack says he'd be more impressed with these people if they had a good surgeon. And Ben says they had an excellent surgeon. His name was Ethan.
What?
Creepy as fuck.
I wouldn't let that man near me
Yeah, I wouldn't let
with a
him operate
scalpel.
on me.
No.
No fucking way.
Yeah, they
right.
probably have some protocol with him where they have some doctor that's not creepy looking stand there, and then right when somebody goes under finally, they're like, okay, bring him in.
They switch him out.
Yeah, because with that
Ethan comes
creepy
in.
ass bedside manner, I would not let him touch me.
No
Yeah.
fucking way. All right. So Jack says to Ben, you've got a very serious infection. That infected tissue needs to be re-incised, debrided, and you need to be closely monitored from here on out. There might be nerve damage or any number of other complications. You might not walk again.
Or his kidney sack.
And I feel like another doctor comes in right now, barges in, and immediately goes, I wouldn't do that.
So Ben replies to Jack, your bedside manner leaves something to be desired. Ha ha. We've already been through this, right?
Yep.
So Jack then tells Ben he needs him to survive. And in return, Ben will stop Juliet's execution. Ben says, Juliet doesn't care about you, Jack. It doesn't matter what she's done. No matter what you think, she's one of us.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Yes. One of us.
So Jack wants to know if they have a deal. Ben asks if Isabel has a walkie-talkie. Alex says that they're already in the meeting. And Ben responds, then get me something to write on.
Ooh.
Flashback number 4. Jack is walking through a seedy-looking street market. This is like, I feel like this is always the way that places like Thailand are portrayed. Not that these things don't exist, but they exist everywhere. And I feel like for some reason, cities in the Orient, we act like this is the norm.
Right.
Does that make sense? Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, we see this in movies that are based here in the U.S. too, but
Yeah.
In the U.S., the difference is you also see the good sides of the city, in media.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We portray cities in the Orient as being only this.
Right.
I feel like
Jack was looking for a ping pong show.
Well,
right.
then it looks like he was in the right place.
Yeah.
But they're making it. I mean, I feel like it's really kind of overdone, the seedy looking street market sort of vibe here, but fine. Jack fits in
one of the carts is just selling sausages. I thought that was kind of funny.
That's it? Just sausages?
Yeah. Yeah, there was just sausages.
I mean, did they not have buns?
I was like, tee. I don't know.
All right. All right. So Jack fits right in to the seedy market because he's drinking from a bottle in a brown paper bag. Like
No open container law there.
So he sees Atra and follows her into a lounge with a tattoo station right in the middle of this room.
And if she is not dressed like a hooker right now, I mean, come on. Like that is hookers are us. Like,
well, they try. Yeah. I mean, they tried to make it look like, I guess that her gift was the ping pong show.
Yeah.
But again, the like stereotypes. I think hooker is passé, Ben. I don't think we use that word anymore.
Okay. Strumpet.
Sex worker
Or prostitute. Prostitute is like...
She's so good that, you can actually play ping pong with her pussy. Like,
oh my God.
She shoots it out and she can return it.
It's like a baseball thrower.
Oh my God. That would be really impressive, considering the weight of it. Not just the size, but... Oh my God. But anyways, yeah, I think using the word hooker is like, just, we don't do that anymore. If we don't want to be an asshole, I guess I should say. But anyways, Jack is realizing that he's in a tattoo parlor and he starts to get really pissed. She notices him and he's like, is this it? Is this your gift? So it becomes clear that this is where she works. And he says basically like, oh, you're a tattoo artist. And she says, I am not a tattoo artist. I am able to see who people are. My work is not decoration. It is definition. And this is my gift. All right.
God.
Well, so.
And she has to do the hands thing when she does that. This is my gift. Like hands together, like little bow thing. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like a namaste sort of
so
pose.
agonizingly bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So then Jack turns into kind of like a real creepy,
It's a
like,
little
aggressive.
rapey here, I mean.
Yeah, little rapey aggressiveness.
Yeah.
He is abusive, he is obsessive, and he is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
What right did he have to fucking follow her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All of this. Well, it's just right back.
And force her to telling him what her secret is. He's such a fucking megalomaniac. I can't stand him here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have him in my top characters later, but now I'm kind of regretting it, thinking about it. I guess sometimes I base the character off of what they're doing now and not necessarily in the past. But yeah, this is pretty bad. And he gets like physically aggressive with her too, which is horrible.
He puts his hands on her.
Oh, it's so bad. But anyway, so he's like pressuring her. He wants to be seen, or he wants her to mark him and blah, blah, blah. She's really trying to tell him no, and that he's an outsider and he has no business in this. And he just keeps pushing. And finally she says, you are a leader, a great man, but this makes you lonely and frightened and angry.
And rapey.
And Jack like gets mad. He pushes over the tattoo cart and like rushes toward her. And he says, now put it on me. Ugh. She again tries to tell him it's against her people and there will be consequences. And Jack just replies, there always are.
Consequences
right,
like an infection.
Yeah.
Just clean the needles. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole scene is pretty
Cringe.
fucking awful. Back on Hydra Island, Jack and Alex are running to whatever meeting and verdict that is happening with Juliet. Alex tells him that he should not be there. And so once they go inside, he needs to stand back and let her deal with it. She knocks on the door. Tom opens it and says, "What the hell did you bring him here for?" He grabs Jack, who can briefly see inside, and he can see Juliet sitting at a chair up front facing everyone else, looking genuinely scared. And so Isabel, and her psychotic haircut, appears, tells Tom to let Jack go. Alex hands a note to Isabel and says, "This is from Ben." She opens the note and says, "Ben has commuted Juliet's sentence. Execution is off the table. He says the rules don't apply to her. He has, however, ordered her to be marked."
Mark.
Oh, fuck.
Some Keith Raniere shit going on right now.
Did you say Keith Raniere?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. I am obsessed with
Nexium Island.
Yeah, I'm a Nexium Island. I'm obsessed with the Nexium cult. It's fascinating. Watch The Vow. Anyways, so Tom and Alex both look totally fucking shocked. Isabel opens the door to go back into the room, and just before it slams shut, Jack can see Juliet's desperate face. Flashback number 5. Jack is leaving the beach hut. He might as well have been whistling. He was in such a great fucking mood. He sees the boy who sells sodas, and he gestures for 2 of them, but the boy just looks terrified and runs away. And so just then, a group of men, including Atra's brother, approach. Jack is like, "Oh, I know you. Hey, guys, how's it going? Oh, Chet from the restaurant." And then they just pull his sleeve up to expose the tattoo and then give him a fucking beat down, basically. And they're kicking him and punching him, and he's on the ground looking desperate. And after everybody gets their punches in, Chet from the restaurant says, "You will get off our beach. You will leave this country. Do you understand me?" Because they're so mad about this tattoo.
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid.
These are the consequences, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
get your ass beat.
So I want to ask a question. I've got Achara here. How did he actually pressure her into doing this? In order to get a tattoo, he would have had to have laid down and kind of
not really. It was on his shoulder
and required her to do that.
Well, and she just picked up her little tools and started working on him. There was no autoclave,
just
gross.
She could have just not done it.
She could have not done it. His behavior was very intimidating for you, my darling husband, who is a 6'3" white cishet male. You maybe don't understand what happened in that scene, but he was very aggressive and intimidating.
No, I know exactly what happened in that scene.
Okay.
She was scared.
She was scared. I get
That's
that.
how.
Stupid white American is going to beat me if I don't fucking do this tattoo.
Yeah. The answer is, when you say how, the answer is through fear. That's what he did.
Would she
scared her?
Here's the other thing. When you do your work, you can do it several ways, right? She could have put anything on his fucking arm and he wouldn't have known the difference.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So why did she have to apply her gift to this specific situation? She could have just drawn fucking Mickey Mouse on his arm.
Oh, you mean lied to him and not really?
Yeah, just said, "Oh yeah, this is my gift,"
therefore.
or whatever, and just said "Mugu Gai Pan" or something on his fucking shoulder,
or Poo Poo Platter,
or Poo Poo Platter, exactly.
asshole American.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, that could have happened. I don't know. Did you want to text her and ask?
Can I?
What?
I don't know.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Lost
get what
isn't
you're
real?
First the Brady Bunch, now Lost. What's going on? What is going on with my fucking childhood?
Jeez. Atra's real and married to Bobby Brady, actually. So,
oh, nice. Good for him.
back on, we're still where Jack's getting his ass beat. He sees her standing down the beach a little bit, and she's crying over her relatives giving Jack the beat down. And
she shouldn't have told him that he got it, and they would have given him the beat down.
None of it makes sense. It's all fucking stupid. So the gang leaves, and she goes with them, and Jack is left there beat up without any soda or whatever he wanted. She got
dressed up really nice to watch him get the shit beat out of him too.
She did. She's very well dressed through the whole thing. Even her supposed prostitute outfit was pretty fucking cute.
Yeah.
She's a very stylish character, but that's pretty much it. All right. So, anyways, back on Hydra Island, Juliet brings Jack a grilled cheese sandwich, and she says something like, I hear you like them grilled. And he says that he misses the toothpicks, and, it's a sweet little interaction or whatever. And then Jack says he wants to see how they marked her. She shows him what looks like basically an asterisk, maybe, with one long arm from the asterisk that's pointing downward toward the small of her back, like it's a tramp stamp.
Yeah, so, it was in the tramp stamp area.
It's close. I mean, it was more toward the hip, but Jack has her break off an aloe branch and bring it to him. The camera sort of lingers over a shot of Jack's hand on her hip as he applies the aloe. She wants to know why Jack helped her, and he says, he told you he was going to let you go home. He told me the same thing. We're going to make sure he keeps his word.
That's right.
Oh, so now Jack is
Bold Jack.
Yes, bold Jack. I like bold Jack, except that one scene, he was too bold. He was more rapey.
Well, that was Thailand Jack. He sucked in the whole
Thailand Jack
flashback.
Thailand Jack and flashback, like any scene with his wife or ex-wife. That's the same guy. That's bad Jack.
Flashback Jack.
Flashback Jack. Exactly.
Flashback Jack is kind of an asshole. All right. Anyways, so he's scheming now against Ben, which is interesting. So Juliet wonders how they're going to accomplish this, and Jack just says, "Together." Oh, Christy's not buying it. All right. So
I am buying it. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
I think he should put his hands. He should put his hands together and bow and go together.
My gift. My gift.
Fuck.
All right. So Julia tells him that they're coming back for Jack in a few minutes. And now that his friends know about this island, they have to leave and return to where they live. Jack, of course, asks, well, where is that? And she says, well, Ben calls it home. Ugh, okay.
It's really just bad writing in this episode.
Oh, God, yeah.
Really bad writing.
Whoever wrote this episode sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even check to see who wrote this one.
Elizabeth Sarnoff and Krista M. Kim.
I've heard of them before.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure if you want to go hear about them, go over to Lost the Plot. They actually talk about good Lost stuff. We just talk about shenanigans over here.
Yeah.
So Sawyer
ping
returns.
pong shows.
Yeah, ping pong shows. That's more our vibe. So Sawyer returns to the campsite alone, tells Kate that he let Carl go. She's pissed because he could have led them to where they live, but Sawyer says that Carl is a target that Ben isn't going to let go of, so it's safer without him, which actually makes sense.
This is dumb. He didn't let Carl go. It's not like Carl was tied up. Carl had already walked away.
Yeah, he wasn't their prisoner.
That's one hell of a way to keep a prisoner.
Yeah, I guess Kate thought he was a prisoner, but right, yeah, they never did tie him up or anything. All right, well,
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. We like all opinions here at Spacebear Media. So anyways, Sawyer says they should go back to camp, and Kate replies, should I walk beside you or 10 paces behind you? Oh my God, here we go. We're just completely falling apart now. She's like, you've gotten so good at telling me what to do, I can't think for myself anymore. Fuck. He tells her not to take her guilt out on him. Oh my God. And she says they had to leave Jack so she doesn't feel guilty, and he replies,
why did she say that they had to go back when they were in the fucking canoe? She doesn't know what the fuck she feels.
No, she's all over the place, especially when it comes to being in between these two.
Yeah.
But he replies, I'm not talking about leaving Jack behind. I'm talking about you and me. I know you did it just because you thought I was a dead man, so don't beat yourself up because the doc's left behind. She says she's not beating herself up, and he just says, let's go. So sad at how quickly everything fell apart between these two. It's very sad, and I don't like it. The others are now on Hydra Beach, putting people onto a little ferry to a larger boat. They're carrying Ben out, obviously. And Isabel says to Jack, he walks amongst us, but he is not one of us. your tattoo.
What?
That's what they say. And Jack replies, that's what they say. It's not what they mean.
But
And
you know what it
then-
actually says because that's an actual real tattoo on the actor.
Yep, that is actually his, yeah.
It means eagle's high cleaving sky.
I kind of love that you looked that up, Derek. Anyways, back on the show after Jack drops this line, which I feel like the entire point of the episode may have been just to give him that one line that it's not what they mean or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's montage time. So
It's been a while. It's been a while.
So Jack and Ben are ferried out together. A sad looking Sawyer and Kate are walking with torches.
Where'd they get those
Carl-
torches?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they stopped at
They
the
stopped
torch
by the
farm.
torch plant.
Yeah. So Carl sits alone at a campfire looking into the night sky. The camera tracks up from his face across the sky and comes down onto Alex, who's on a boat looking up. Jack joins Juliet on the
I'm
front of
having
this.
a Fivel moment here. You know?
Yes, I fucking loved that. What's that? An American Tail. Is
Yeah.
what that? Yeah, I loved that as a kid. So Jack joins Juliet on the front of the ship. Now we're having like a Titanic moment, and they
Don't
look
ever
at
let
each.
go.
I'm the king of the world. So they look at each other and they share this sort of like meaningful glance, and then lost title screen. End of episode. Thank
God. Ugh.
It's pretty bad. Anybody want to guess what the fun facts are this week?
Ping pong shows?
Ping pongs.
No, it's obviously going to be facts about tattoos. Duh. According to a survey, more women than men are tatted up in the United States. And not only that, but 40% of women bring a buddy with them to get a tattoo. I have done that twice. The first time I ever got a tattoo, I had a buddy there. Her name was Christy. She's on this podcast. And we got matching tattoos. That was my first one ever.
Yep.
Yep. So Psychology Today actually reports that a study concluded that people with tattoos are more likely to be experience seekers, which I think is one way to say cool.
Adventurous.
Yeah, exactly. Risk takers, maybe. That's what we are.
I'm a risk taker, but I don't have tattoos.
You're the only one here.
Yet.
Ben has a tattoo?
Ben has
Yeah,
one
that's
on his
pretty
shoulder.
lame.
Is it a tramp stamp?
No, I said his shoulder. And Christy and I are the most tatted up. How many tattoos do you have, Christy?
9.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, but
You're
one
the
of yours
most
is
tatted.
like massive, so.
More than one. I mean, I have an 8-line poem on my back, and then I have a tree that stretches from just under my armpit all the way down to the bottom of my hip, and it goes around the rib cage. That was something. Anyways, Americans spend approximately $1.65 billion per year on tattoos. And the most popular tattoo motifs, this is sad, are said to be angels and hearts.
Oh, God.
God.
Stupid. Terrible.
That was like mom with an anchor on your arm.
That's like a
Popeye.
classic Navy tattoo,
Yeah,
I
like
think.
Popeye.
Yeah. So, when being tattooed, your skin is pierced 50 to 3,000 times per minute by the machine, depending on how it's being used. The oldest discovered proof of tattooing was when we found a body beneath a glacier in the Alps, and it was dated back to 32.
Would you be
I
calling
know
him a
you're laughing at Stranger
Is this
in the
a
Alps.
stranger in the Alps?
I think we went over that an episode or two ago. So we found a tattooed stranger in the Alps, and the body was dated to 3250 BC, and it was tattooed. Yeah. So in more modern times, tattoos were introduced to the West by sailors like Captain Cook, who learned about them in Polynesia in 1769. So, yeah, I think the Orient and the Pacific Islands, they were tattooing.
In that way that Jack was tattooed, that stick or whatever they use, that's how they used to do it back then, I think.
Well,
Like
I mean,
real
it's still
old.
done that way now, probably in places. But yeah, there was no machine. And so they
Right.
just tapped it into you using a needle and tapping the back of the needle. Yeah. Speaking of, the first tattoo machine was created in 1891 by a man named Samuel O'Reilly. He got his inspiration from Thomas Edison's electric pen. And pretty much all O'Reilly did was add an ink reservoir and needles to the design, and voila, he had a tattoo machine.
Et voilà.
Knowing that our skin flakes off and is constantly being replaced, why are tattoos permanent? I'm going to tell you. Tattoo ink is inserted into the second layer of the skin, where an immune response happens, and cells called macrophages come out, and as a immune defender, they eat the ink. So when they die, they are then eaten by other macrophages, effectively passing on the ink in the dying process, which is what makes it permanent.
Oh,
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So your macrophages are like eating the ink for the rest of your life?
For the rest of your life. They eat the ink
Wow.
and then they eat each other, and it just keeps happening over and over and over for the rest of your life. And that's why it's permanent. Isn't that fucking amazing?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So lasers can remove the ink by activating other immune cells whose function is to carry the ink away to the lymph nodes, where it then joins the lymph fluid and is eventually expelled from the body. Is that fucking amazing? So
pretty cool.
Black is the easiest color to remove, which you may not is not intuitive, but it's the easiest color to remove from a tattoo because it absorbs the greatest number of laser waves, making it easier to break up. Then the hardest colors to remove are yellow and green.
And red causes the most allergic reactions.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that. Something about the red ink
Yeah.
people are allergic to? Oh, interesting.
Sort of like red M&Ms.
The last tattoo that I got, I think it was the last one that I got, has red in it. And my mom and I both had reactions to the ink.
I counted. I have 6 tattoos, but one of them is a cover-up as well. That time that I got my very first tattoo on the top of my feet. Oh, wait, I didn't count that one. Maybe I have 7. When I got the matching tattoo with Christy, I also got 2 tattoos in one day because I was married to my second husband, who was a psycho. And he forced me to get a tattoo on my hip that was dates that he and I met and got married to prove that I loved him more than Christy, who I was getting the tattoo with. And that one is the cover-up, is the giant tree on my side. Look, you know what? Pre-show next week, I'll get you a picture of the tree. And I put the tree there over top of that tattoo to represent, like, if badness takes root in your life, you can grow from it. So picture that next week.
They should never
All
get
right.
people's names their shit on, unless they're like your kids. But like when people get significant others' names, that's...
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
I was in a situation where it was easier to tattoo my body than to tell him no, if that tells you something.
I'm just talking about in general. People should never
in
do that.
general, yeah, probably not. I'm going to get a tattoo. I have one on my list here to represent Ben and I, but it's very abstract. And also Ben and I aren't going to break up. But I'm getting both of our favorite animals on the front of one of my thighs. I'm going to put a tiger, which is my favorite animal. And Ben's is the crow. And I'm going to get a crow flying around my hip.
Cool.
Like his favorite movie.
Yeah, that one's good. It's funny. The crow came up. Yeah, not.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Brandon Lee tattooed.
No.
All right. Wow. A lot of circle backs in this episode. Really interesting. Okay. Best and worst moments. How about Benjamin? What do you think?
My best moment was the ending Lost title card.
That was mine too. That was mine.
Did you really
And
split that, Derek?
and my least favorite was everything that went before that.
Yeah, that's almost exactly mine.
All right. Well, go ahead and give us yours then, Derek.
Yeah, the best moment was the end of the episode because it sucked. And the worst moment was the entire episode.
There we go. There we go.
I
Oh my
really,
God.
literally hated this episode. It's the worst one of the show so far.
I pulled out a couple moments. Best moments was when one of them was when Isabel said he has, however, ordered her to be marked. That was just like intense, and I loved that. I did also have a second moment that I pulled out, which is when Jack tends to Juliet with the aloe. It's a very sweet moment, and so I did like that. Worst moments of the show, the breathy sex scene in Thailand, gross. And then also, now put it on me. Oh, fuck, Jack. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Just
Put it on me.
disgusting. Get the fuck out of here. Christy, did you take the cop out the whole show like they did? Or did you pick out moments?
I pulled out some moments too.
All right. Okay.
My best moments were when Jack got his ass kicked on the beach. And then also Sawyer was being so sweet with Carl, and he's like, every now and then you find one that you name stars with, and he called Alex Sally Slingshot. So I loved that. My worst moment was the whole tattoo scene, and he's like, no, put it on me. So I'm with you on that. That was
so gross. Why don't you keep going? Give us your characters and your fucking kill this week, Christy.
It was really, really hard to come up with 3 characters, so I only have 2. In my top,
fine.
I have Jack and Juliet, but in my bottom, I have Flashback Jack and Achara.
You got
Flashback Jack.
Did you say you have Flashback Jack in your bottom?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Flashback Jack's he's a backdoor man.
Yeah. I am not going to fuck anybody, and I'm going to kill the script.
Oh, you stole that from me. I put the script in the
Yeah, but I think everybody did.
Why don't you go ahead and do your characters, Ben?
So top 3, none. I had none. I thought this episode was a piece of shit, and I had no favorites. The bottom 3, I just had one, and it was the writers. And then I'm gonna fuck Achara, and I'm going to kill Jack's tattoo.
All right. Yeah, so for mine, I had best characters. I did have Jack, and this is Island Jack for sure. Juliet, I had in second. She was taking her punishment like a champ. And then I have Isabel because she was creepy, but she was interesting. And so I put her at the top. And then I put Atra. She was my worst character. I'm not fucking anyone this week because this week was not sexy at all. I'm going to masturbate and get a tattoo instead. And then I'm killing the script. I put that in the spreadsheet, and the rest of you stole it because it deserves to be killed. Fuck it. Terrible. Derek, how about you?
Best is Island Jack, then Juliet, and then Alex, because, she helped,
Scrappy Alex.
stop Juliet's execution and all that. And then the worst is Achara, but I'll still fuck her. And I'm going to kill the script. I'll kill the script just like everybody else.
All right. Ben, can you update us? What do the rankings look like? I feel like it's not going to change too much, but that Jack has got to be digging out of his hole, even if he's not in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, Jack made up a little ground, but he's still he's not even in the top 5 at this point.
But he's not negative anymore, right?
He's not negative anymore. He was only negative for a little while.
Okay.
So actually, we've got a new first place. We got Juliet moving into first place with 61 points. Sawyer dropping to second place with 58, and we still have Desmond with 43 points. The bottom of the barrel, I actually found that there was a mistake in the spreadsheet. I'm not sure how it happened, but I fixed it, and it only impacted the bottom, the very, very bottom. We still have Dead Pants Danny with negative 90 points. We've got Poopy Paolo with negative 47 points. And it wasn't Mr. Peck. It was actually Charles Widmore in third place last week and this week with negative 29 points.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, something happened in the spreadsheet. I'm not sure how it happened.
That was probably me. I probably fucked it up the same time
I caught it when I was looking through it today because I saw the script on there and I was like, wait a second, why is the script showing up in the next episode and not this one? And something had gotten off. So,
oops.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's all imaginary nonsense anyways, so
Exactly.
I'm not super worried.
No, it's real, like the Brady
real.
Bunch.
Exactly. And House.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm loving the Sawyer Juliet horse race at the front of the pack here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Ben, why don't you give us your final impressions of this episode?
Yep.
That was
a
it.
turd. I mean, the entire episode was basically here to tell us why Jack had a tattoo. When it really comes down to it, like there's a couple things that happened. Yeah, we meet Isabel, and Sally Slingshot does a little bit to commute Juliet's sentence, but like outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot that happened, and the backstory was moronic.
Yeah.
So, this is an F. This is a terrible episode.
Yeah, I had goofy, unnecessary backstory. And then on the island, some good moments. Seeing Cindy, the conversation there at least is intriguing. The trial, again, intriguing. Like, what's the deal with the others? But overall, not great. And especially coming off of the high of flashes before your eyes. And then this episode,
definitely.
it's just like, what the fuck are you doing with this? Like, there are placeholder episodes, right? But then there's like, what the fuck? This is a what the fuck. Christy, how about you?
It was basically a shit episode. I seem to remember at the time, all kinds of people who watched the show were like, "Ooh, what's with the tattoos?" And they're real tattoos. They're Matthew Fox's real tattoos. And so because so many people were wondering what they symbolized, like to Matthew Fox, I think the show was like, "Oh, let's write an episode about it."
Oh, that's interesting, considering like that's how Expose came about, is that they were writing to like explain more of the survivors. And so it's like two stinkers when they're trying to like...
Yeah.
They were trying to please the audience, and it was just fucking awful.
Just don't do it.
This is the price of pandering.
Yeah. Yep. I think that this one might possibly be worse than Expose. It's been a long time since I've seen Expose, but I know that we're coming up on that soon. So I'll have to make that determination then. But it's really a fucking bad episode.
I think so. I feel like I feel like before we started recording this, I was saying that Expose was the worst. Now that we've rewatched this episode is pretty fucking bad. And Expose, I've already watched it a few times now in preparation for this podcast. And as I was watching it, I remember thinking, wow, Expose is going to be a lot more fun to record. Like, there are fun moments in it, even though it's a silly episode, when this one is just like struggles to get through it.
Yeah.
Bad. All right. Well, we'll revisit that in 5 weeks. Sorry, I interrupted you. Christy, did you have more to say about
No. It's shit. The end.
All right, Derek. How about you? Final impressions. Do you have any lasting questions from this episode, or should we just get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, this episode was such a letdown after the previous one. I mean, to me, it's the worst episode so far. And
of the whole show?
Of the whole show, yes.
The whole show so far?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was brutal getting through it. But anyways, it was completely pointless. And really didn't advance the storyline at all. I mean, other than Jack's tattoo, who gives a shit. I mean, we do meet a new character named Isabel, who's the sheriff of Island Town. And Jack and Alex saved Julia from execution. And I also saw his theory that one of the showrunners' name is Damon Lindelof.
Lindelof.
He said this episode was part of an inspiration to set an end date for the series. So it was so bad, ABC was like, we need to start ending this soon. In a few seasons.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
So the biggest question is, like, how did Cindy and the kids become others?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
when
a
they
good
showed
question.
up there at the cage.
Right. Okay. That is a good question. It's not going to get answered next week. We do dive more into the others and the list and who's on it and who's not. But next week, we've got a fun one. It's Trisha Tanaka is dead. It's season 3, episode 10. It's a Hurley episode. Christy claimed this one before we ever started recording. And so next week, she's going to bring it to you. And we will see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Lost in My 40s is a Spacebear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacy J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Spacebear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at Spacebear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.